In this video, I'm going to show you how Cashflow can help you manage your credit control. Firstly, on the left-hand side of the screen, if you go through to the Settings menu, you'll see that there is an option at the top of the screen which says Email Options. If we click into Email Options, you'll see that there are some tick boxes on here. Firstly, you'll see you'll get an email notification when invoices become overdue, and also you'll get an email notification when purchases become overdue. This means Cashflow will automatically, by default, remind you when your transactions are becoming overdue. If we go back through to the Settings menu and scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you will see that there is an option which says Automatic Credit Control. Once you've clicked in Automatic Credit Control, you will see that by default it's disabled. To enable credit control, all you need to do is just click the box and then enter the details below. Firstly, you can put in an email address for BCC, so if you or anyone in your business want to be copied in on all of the emails that go out from your Cashflow account, then just type in your email address here. You can then type the name, so this will be the name in the heading of who the email will be from, and also the email address that your customers will receive that from. Underneath that, all you need to do is type in the email signature that's going to be on these automatic emails. If you keep scrolling down, you'll be able to choose the time of day that the emails will be sent out automatically. Underneath here, we can see that by default there are 4 emails already set up within the system. By clicking Add Email, you can quickly just add another one to this list. On the right hand side, you can see you have the option to edit and also send a test email for any of these that you've created. And we can see by default we have a pre-due reminder, so 2 days before any invoice is due and is unpaid within the system, my customers will automatically receive this. If I click on the edit button here, we can see what this email looks like. So we can see the text that they're going to receive, and I can customize and bespoke this email to suit my business. All you do is click update and that will change any text on there that your customers will receive. We can see after 3, 7 and 14 days they will get my first 1 week and final reminder for payment. And again, if we click edit on any of these transactions, we can choose which day to send, so mine's 3 days after. I could change that to 7 days after for my first reminder, and we can choose days after or days before the due date, so we can set up pre-due or post reminders for invoice payment. Once we've turned on, and just click update your automatic credit control, we've now turned that on. What that will mean now, if we go to a customer record on the left hand side of the screen, if we click into a customer record, we will see under the Options tab, we now have the option to enable credit control on newly created invoices. What that will mean now is every invoice I create for this individual customer will now be automatically emailed if they become overdue. You can choose that per customer level, so if some customers pay you on time, then you can just leave the option unticked. But if it's a new client and that's the way you want to work with them, or you may have a bad payer, then just click that option and the system will automatically chase those for you. Alternatively, instead of doing it at a customer level, if you go to the Invoices module on the left hand side and just click into an invoice, if I just click Edit at the top, you will see next to an invoice, you'll now have the option to assign automatic credit control. That means it will only chase this invoice and not every single invoice I create for this customer. So if you're doing a large portion of work and it's a large value invoice, you want the system to chase it, you could just chase that one invoice and use some of the lesser work. You could ignore that if you wish to. That's how we can set up the automatic credit control functionality within Cashflow. We also have some manual ways where we can track that. So if we go through to the Invoices module on the left hand side of the screen, you will see any invoices that are overdue are highlighted in the status bar on the right hand side and stated as overdue. At the bottom of the screen, where it says all, you can choose just to show everything that is overdue within the system. we can now see all of my overdue invoices listed in here. We can see I've got one that's overdue by a day, and if we scroll up I can see I've got an invoice that's overdue by a year, so we can see how far they're actually overdue by. If you click into an overdue invoice, you'll be presented with some options at the top of the page. You'll see you've now got a button which says Reminder Letter. If I click on Reminder Letter, we will see that I've now got a reminder notice. It's brought up the address, it's already pre-populated the text that's going to be sent out on this letter, and if we scroll down we can see all our information is on here. The information on the invoice is also included in this letter. We can mark this letter as sent. If we just click print, that will print that letter off for us and we can send it out. If I click email, that will bring up the internal email editor and will bring up their email address, and again it says please see attached a letter and a copy of the original invoice, but we can bespoke that email if we wish to. It will attach a copy of the original invoice, and also it will attach a reminder notice. And if I click into this letter, this is what it looks like. So you can see it's got my company logo and heading, and it's a reminder notice for our unpaid invoice number 101, and all of the details on that letter are there, and the client will receive that via email. I can edit that if I wish to, just by clicking the edit button on the right hand side of the screen. That will bring up all of the text that's included in that letter, and I can amend it as I wish, and also I can use the text substitution in here to make sure the information I want comes onto the letter automatically. If I make any changes on this letter, I can just update for future use, which means every letter I create will have all of those details on. And then all I need to do is click done on the right hand side, and that letter will be saved. If I've sent a letter to this customer, all I need to do is just mark that as sent, and we can see our first reminder letter has been marked as sent. If you continue to send a second reminder, the text changes, and you can choose a third reminder, which is my formal notice of default, and again all of these letters can be amended. If I went to a second reminder, I can now mark my second reminder as sent if I've emailed that out. Now if we go through to the customer screen now on the left hand side, and we go to our customer 5-point store, we'll be able to see, if we scroll down, if we go through to invoices and stats, any notes on here, if we click into an overdue invoice, so if I just go through to invoice number 101, which is overdue, if we scroll down on the invoice, we'll be able to see any notes on the system. So we can see that a payment has been made, which was a part payment, and if I click on notes, we can see exactly when the first letter was sent, and also when our second letter was sent. As we can see, we both sent them today, and we can see that we sent that. So that means we can track all of our letters and emails that go out from the system when we're chasing unpaid invoices. Also, if we go to our reporting module on the left hand side, under general reports, we have our aged debtors. If I click into my aged debtors report, I can choose a date, and then all I need to do is click run report. That now shows all my customers, so all my debtors. We can see the balance, if there's any current debt owed, also December, so we can see what was owed in December, what's in November, what's in October, and older. So we can track all of our customers, what they owe us, and any who's got debt and older debt. Now you can actually drill into a customer from here, so I can see they've got 7,200 here in older debt. So all I need to do is just click on them, and that will take me through to the invoices screen on their customer record, and I can see that they've got 4 overdue invoices in here, and then I can continue down the route of sorting out my reminder letters for those clients. And then all you do is click the back button, and that will take you straight back to the report. If I just go back to my reporting module now and click on aged debtors, we can choose to include a detailed breakdown, and if I click run report, we will now see all our customers listed with the invoice numbers and amounts and exactly how old they are, and we can track all of that. You can download this information out to Excel, you can print this report as well, and you can rerun it if any changes that have been made. And that's how easy it is to set up and use the automatic credit control within Cashflow, and also how to manage your credit control using the reminder letters within the invoicing module.